Hi again, everybody. Welcome to the Interface Video Productions Buffalo Wild Wings High School Football Game of the Week and the Personal Touch Party Rentals pregame show. I'm Jared Stewart alongside Tim Shoemaker, Marion Royster. Tonight we're at Fulton Field for the Lancaster Golden Gales in a rivalry game hosting the Newark Wildcats. Let's bring in Marion to talk about those Newark Wildcats. And Marion, this is a Wildcat team that's right now 1-2. That might not seem very stellar, but this is an offense that can put up some points. They've scored 27, 27, and 21 in their first three games.
Yeah, they've proven that they can put points on the board. I think with Newark, their key to victory tonight is going to be relying on their quarterback, Jake Sherman. He's a young guy, but he's very efficient. Play within himself, play smart, limit the big mistakes. And then really it starts with their defense. The defense didn't play well the first 2 weeks of the season, but pitched the shutout last week, 21-0 against Marion Harding. They had 6 sacks in that game, so a good front four led by their senior defensive tackle, Scott Cannon. He goes 6'7", 250, so he's a big boy. But that'll be what Newark will be. If they're able to do that, they should have some success tonight.
Let's bring in Tim to talk about the Golden Gales. And now, Tim, with Newark coming in, it's always a rivalry game. They came in 2013 at 0-9 in week number 10. Obviously, these players weren't here for that upset, these Lancaster players, but the coaching staff was. And I'm sure they've had that in the back of their mind this week during practice.
Maybe so, but for the most part, like you said, it's a new year and a new team. Lancaster right now, when you look at it, they could easily be 2-1 or 3-0. Number one, you got to cut down the turnovers. And number two, you have to make your luck a little bit. You know, people say you need to be lucky. You have to make your luck. So I think it's going to come down to the physicality on the point of attack on both sides of the football because, as you said, Newark's playing better. I think Lancaster wants to maintain the football and grind it and pound on them. So it's really got an interesting little twist tonight, Jared.
It's a good old-fashioned rivalry game between the Lancaster Golden Gales and the Newark Wildcats here at Fulton Field. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be back with the kickoff. Coming up next on the Interface Video Productions Buffalo Wild Wings High School Football Game of the Week.
Hi, I'm Carol Whittington, and I would like to invite you to stop by Personal Touch Party Rentals and Events, located at 1540 Hubbard Drive in Lancaster. We are a small family-owned business and have been servicing the Central Ohio and Hocking Hills area since 2003. Graduations with a personal touch, weddings with a personal touch, corporate events with a personal touch. Please call us today for all your party rental needs, 740-689-6991.
Almost everyone needs a car to get from point A to point B, and many families have 2 or more cars. At Carriage Company, located at 1031 North Memorial Drive in Lancaster, we specialize in hard-to-find used cars. As a member of the Better Business Bureau, we are a Carfax Advantage dealer and offer great financing rates through a local area bank, with warranties available on most vehicles. We know your time is valuable, so we take special pride in making sure that you get what you came for at a price that you can afford.
Come into the Carriage Company and check out our sweet deals.
Stop by today and let us help you, or visit us online at carriagecompany.com.
Wait!
Tonight's Mike the Ref is brought to you by Don's Furniture and Mattress, located at 1118 East Main Street. They've been serving Lancaster and the Fairfield County area for over 25 years. And for those years, Don's has supported numerous charities and youth sports teams, and they continue to support our community. Don's values every customer and wishes all the area teams a successful season. To find out more, visit them at donsfurniture.com. Too many seniors in Fairfield County are left behind, alone and hungry, struggling to stay independent and healthy. Meals on Wheels is a proven system of services built to be there day in and day out for every aging person in Fairfield County. Meals on Wheels makes sure that the people who took care of us are not forgotten, that their worth is acknowledged, and they continue to enjoy inclusion and respect as they face the challenges of aging in their own homes, where they want to be. Your vote on November 6th will ensure senior services will continue for older adults in Fairfield County.
For nearly 90 years, Kumler Collision and Automotive has shown a commitment to excellence with decades of experience and a passion for auto and body repair. Over the years, we've been a big part of seeing this community grow. Our employees are dedicated, hardworking members of this community and care about our customers long after they leave. Kumler Collision and Automotive. We're your neighbors, your friends, and if it's important to your family, it's important to ours.
Hi again, everybody. Welcome to the high school football game of the week. I'm Jared Stewart alongside Tim Shoemaker. Tonight, we've got a great one for you. The Blue Carroll Bulldogs.
It was great practice, even in the rain and the weather.
Schneider, lots of running room to midfield. He's gone. Ryan Schneider down the near sideline for a touchdown for the Aces.
We have a hold on the offense, number 20. That penalty will be declined. They'll bring up fourth down.
We're going to give you this game ball here because you're a Tiberios fan of the game. And thanks for being here, Jacob.
The Polar Bears are your OAC tournament champions. First time since 2009. What an exciting finish for the Ohio Northern Polar Bears.
Congratulations, and be very proud of this trophy because you've earned it.
IVP Sports presents the Buffalo Wild Wings High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by Ohio University Lancaster, Fairfield Medical Center, Standing Stone Bank, North Body Shop, Dawn's Furniture, South Central Power, Fairfield DD, Meals on Wheels, Fairfield National Bank, Kumler Collision and Automotive, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Parks, the Edwards Insurance Agency, Dagger Law, the Carriage Company, Blue Line Designs, Personal Touch Party Rentals, the Huddle Tire Company, Fairfield Federal, Lines Auto Service, Sheridan Funeral Home, and Buckeye Lake Marina.
And we welcome you back for more of the Personal Touch Party Rentals pregame show inside the press box here at Fulton Field on a what is obviously going to be a warm night, at least for a little bit. After the sun goes down, it's going to be nice and comfortable here at Fulton Field.
You said press box. I thought I walked into the sauna at the Y.
It does feel that way, doesn't it? Of course, we're high up in this perch, and we're about the only people getting sun right now. The field is nice and shaded, but let's talk about that field. Well, obviously, it's the second home game for the Golden Gales on their new turf field. The first game didn't go as planned, but man, it looks so nice. Marion, this is your first visit to Fulton Field with the turf. What are your first impressions?
Excuse me, I think it looks great, guys. It's obviously, freshly painted. Should help, a lot later in the season should be when the real difference is shown because the field tends to get torn up as the season goes along. But the Gales should be really excited about being able to break in this field and have another home game here.
There's a beautiful overhead shot there, shot by Bob Campetti on his drone camera earlier this week, and that's a good look at this brand new playing surface here. It is time to bring you the keys to the game, brought to you by North Body Shop, providing quality customer service, parts, and reliability. Since 1979, owner Mark North will provide you with a free written warranty on each estimate. That's Mark North of North Body Shop. He'll treat you right. Now, Tim, Newark is 2-12 in their last 14 games versus Lancaster, but we mentioned earlier in the pregame, that doesn't matter. That's a rivalry game. It doesn't matter what the records are. This is going to be a dogfight.
I think so, and I really believe that the key is that point of attack, like we said in the pregame, Jared. Whoever's the most physical up front. Newark's D-line has played well. Threw a shutout last week. Marion had mentioned, shut out Marion Harding. In a high school football game, you shut somebody out, you're doing something really well. And Lancaster's offensive line is very good, Jared. Yep. So I think it's going to be a real interesting battle there that I think will determine the game.
One piece of personnel information to pass along. Little change on the offensive line tonight. Jackson Reinshield getting the start at center. He'll be wearing number 51 for the Golden Gales. 5'7", 190-pound senior. Jackson been around the program for many years, puts in a lot of hard work. And don't let that size fool you. Jackson is a strong kid. So even at 5'7", I think he's in for a good first start tonight for the Golden Gales?
Well, a lot of line play, as anybody will tell you, is about leverage.
Yeah.
Angles and leverage, and Lancaster does as well as anybody as far as teaching line play and blocking, so I don't see that as a concern.
Good shot right there at Coach Carpenter and Coach Albertini, and of course getting some words of advice from Coach Knuckles, who is no longer on the coaching staff, but of course knows his excellence, knows as well as anybody. He is the assistant principal, one of the assistant principals here at Lancaster High School, and is just doing an outstanding job. Hey, I want to mention coming up between the first quarter and the second quarter, and obviously carrying over into the second quarter, we're going to be visited by Lancaster City Schools Superintendent Steve Wigton. He'll be up to talk about all the great things going on at Lancaster City Schools. Of course, new buildings, all new elementary schools, new junior highs are going up now. So just an exciting time to be a part of Lancaster City Schools. And Mr. Wigton will be up between the first and second quarter to talk to us about that. Kickoff tonight is brought to you by Buckeye Lake Marina. If you're looking for a new boat, a great pre-owned watercraft, or a place to get parts for your boat, Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Buckeye Lake is back and better than ever, and the gang at Buckeye Lake Marina looks forward to your support. Looks like it will be the Gales to receive the kickoff, as Mason Hamilton will trot back to be the deep man, usually joined by his brother Max Hamilton. Yep, there goes Max back there as time ticks down here in the pregame to get started for tonight's game of the week. Lancaster coming in 0-3, looking for that first victory, and the Newark Wildcats coming off of their first victory last week at home. So they're flying pretty high, as Marion mentioned. Had a good defensive showing last week. But, of course, that sophomore quarterback, Jake Sherman, he's 30 for 49 on the season, 423 yards, 4 touchdowns, and only 1 interception in 3 games. Not bad at all.
No, those are good numbers after 3 games, Jared.
Let's go, baby.
So it'll be the Wildcats to kick it off. And kicking off for them is Garrett Kashner, pretty talented kicker as well, 5'10", 171 pounds. He also does the punting and the field goal kicking and has done a great job at all of that. I'll give his numbers a little bit later. And the kick is away, and we are underway here from Fulton Field on a hot Friday night in September. It'll be taken by Max Hamilton at the 12. Big hole there. Here goes Max. One man to beat. That's the kicker. I don't think they're going to get him. This is going to be a touchdown if there are no flags. Max Hamilton, the opening kickoff for a touchdown for the Gales.
Wow.
That's explosive.
That sets the tone. When you have skilled people who can actually just make people miss, but honestly, the blocking was tremendous on the special teams right there. Oh, hey, just beat the kicker, and if you get caught by the kicker, you're going to have a hard time in the locker room hearing from your teammates.
He has come very close on several kicks this year and finally breaks one. Marion looks like he was shot out of a cannon.
He absolutely did. Absolutely electrifying kickoff return. And as you said, Jared, he's been so close and shown that speed on several plays, and I'm sure it's got to feel good for him to get that monkey off his back and finally take one to the house.
Absolutely. On to kick the extra point for the Gales is Peyton Stewart. Kick is up, and it is good. Just like that, the Gales are up 7-0. Here you go.
Right up the middle.
Now watch this hole open up.
Well, the kick went to the right, so we're looking at, 89-yard run. But Jared, there's nobody there.
No. You saw that wedge. Tristan Rothenberger was on one side. On the other side was Dominic Carpenter. Those guys did a great job leading the blocking for Max Hamilton, and he just let his speed do the rest.
And guys, I'm sure you know, with a kickoff wedge return a sign like that, the number 1 rule of the returner is just to hit that hole. Do not juke. Hit it as hard as you can.
Yep.
Hamilton definitely did it on that play.
So the Gales up 7-0.
Now that's not a scoring drive, right?
I don't think so.
Okay. Now that's big special teams play right there. Wow.
Yeah, we mentioned he's come very close all season. He's brought some back inside the 20. He's brought one back to the 6 that then the next play they took in, but he's just waiting for that one, and he finally got it tonight on the opening kickoff. What a way to start for the Gales. So now they will kick off, and doing the kicking off for the Gales will be Philip Slater. They've kind of got a field goal kicker and a place kicker.
Hey, you're fortunate if you have a kicker that's good.
Right.
Let alone 2.
Yep. Back deep for the Wildcats is number 11, Dustin Williams. And over on the far side Can't quite make out the number 30. It's just 3.
I believe that's that's number 3, Christian Black. Watch him. He's a speedster, too. He could take this one to the house just right back.
It'll be taken at the 3-yard line. Big booming kick by the Gales. I've got 3 listed as Davian Williams. I don't know if that's correct or not. Is that who you have, Marion?
I think you're right, Jared. I think you are right. You have a more updated roster than I do. My apologies.
It's all right. But a good kick for Philip Slater. And the Wildcats going to start at the 20. Being led by their sophomore quarterback, Jake Sherman. So far this year has some good numbers. Working out of that shotgun, he will hand it off to Dustin Williams coming around the near side. And Max Hamilton, or rather Mason Hamilton, right there for the stop. No gain.
Yeah, really just beat the receiver on his block, Jared, and did a good job of putting his helmet in there. And, you know, we saw that in week 2. They had a hard time making tackles.
Yeah.
Watch this from Tom Russo's camera here. Coming right at him.
Ooh, wow.
See, that's outstanding.
Yep.
Put your helmet and shoulder right in here.
Here's Williams going left side now. Gets a couple of blocks and not much more. As a nice job coming in, number 92 for the Gales. Actually, I think that's a change of a number. That is not, that's Zendale Graff. Used to wear number 53. Now wearing number 92 tonight. So 3rd down and 8 for the Wildcats. Sherman rolling, looking to pass, has 3 men out there. Pretty good coverage down there. And a flag going to be coming in, 2 of them. That's going to be pass interference on the Gales, Ethan Poe. Gales coaches trying to say it was uncatchable.
I don't think that's a rule in high school.
No, I don't think so either. So we'll get our call from the officials. Wait, they waved it off? They did wave it off. No, there they go.
No, it was a silent call. He gave the signal. He just didn't have the mic on, Jared.
All right. So pass interference on the Gales gives Newark 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line. Williams comes in motion. Sherman looking to pass. Has a man out there. Overthrows his intended receiver. That was Joe Batros. Second and 10. Sherman this time gives off to Bat Ross, and nothing there. Scale defense swarming tonight.
Yeah, a lot of good lateral movement. It appears as Newark's kind of trying to see if they can get on the edge. You know, they've come right, they've come left, put the ball in the air a couple times, trying everything toward the outside. Nothing really inside the tackles yet.
Third down and 10. This is where they were last time. 3rd and long, and a pass interference penalty on the Gales gave them pretty good field position and another first down. Sherman back to pass, being pressured. Little dump off to Dustin Williams. And Williams smothered right there by Mason Hamilton as well as Curtis Young. And now a flag comes in late. And that's going to be on the Gales again.
Yeah, that's an unsportsmanlike. Unfortunately, I got a feeling.
Man, you just can't have that. Here's the replay. See if we can see if anything happened there at the end. Big collision there. Oh, wow. Landed on his neck. So I think it was that little extracurricular activity there at the end. Tonight's replays are brought to you by Kumler Collision and Automotive, providing quality service since 1928. And Tim, we've mentioned a couple times already tonight that 0-9 record that Newark had in 2013 came in Week 10 and beat the Gales. In that game, a lot of chippiness, and it came back to haunt the Gales.
Well, it does. If you don't have discipline, it's going to cost you.
On first down, pickup of about 3 on the play.
You got to remember, Newark also had a great quarterback.
Absolutely.
Jake right now, he's just a sophomore, so
Yeah.
he's really just learning on the fly here during games. But with Grant Russell being the quarterback in 2013,
He was
he's one of the
phenomenal.
better ones I've seen.
And I can remember watching that game thinking, how is this team 0-9? How are they 0-9?
Well, that tells you
phenomenal.
that it's a team, though.
Yeah, you're right.
As good as he is and was,
Yeah.
it's a team game.
Pat Ross up the middle. Short gain up to about the 44. Bring up a third down and about 6 for the Wildcats.
And the penalties Lancaster's had have given them an opportunity. It's kept 2 drives, 2 series alive here, Jared. So Newark's got to take advantage of that.
Sherman on the option, pitches it out to Williams, and a good job by the Gales defense. Curtis Young again in there, along with Alex Widener.
Well, right now, the Lancaster defenders are just stronger. And, we talked about it earlier, but at the point of attack, they're winning that battle. Their defensive line right now, Jared, is winning that battle.
Talked to a couple of players today at school, and that's one thing that they keyed on. They said that we think we can beat them up front. They talked about their offensive line not being particularly strong. So far tonight, it's proving that way. Good punt, though, right there for the Wildcats. That pins Lancaster back inside the 10. In fact, Kashner for the Wildcats, he does the kicking and the punting. This year he has 5 punts inside the 20. He's punted 19 times for 550 yards. That's 28.9 per punt. Now, you look at that, you don't think that's that big of an average, but you got to think about where they were punting them from as well.
When you pin offenses back inside the 10, that net yardage goes down, and that's insignificant, actually.
First look at the Lancaster offense tonight. Tyler Monk will hand it off. Jake Richards, his first game back after an injury. Here goes Jake to the 20. Great run by Richards on first down, getting all the way out to the 27-yard line. Speaking of Jake Richards and his first game back tonight after an injury, Lancaster senior football players do something really cool on home Friday football games. They ask a teacher to wear their away jersey, their white jersey, and Jake came in first thing this morning and asked me if I would wear his. I wore it long enough for a picture, we'll just say that. And then I hung it in my room to display it, but here goes Mason Hamilton, just tripped up at about the 38-yard line, or that was going to go for a while. Oh, great. Thanks, Bob.
Hey, that's a good one.
You know, when I put it on, I started singing the song from Tommy Boy, Fat Guy in a Little Coat.
Fantastic.
But Jake's a great kid, and he's got a bright future ahead of him, both academically and athletically. Here's a handoff to Lucas Gowerke, another tough senior runner. He had a great night against DeSales. We were here a couple of weeks ago.
Well, right now they are just absolutely doing whatever they want to do. At the point of attack, Jared. They're moving people, they're running in, they're running out. And actually, they've just been a couple of tackles away from going all the way.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, they're that close.
Trip-ups, really.
Yep.
Monk with Gowerke again right behind him. Richards is the man in motion. He'll take the handoff, looking for that hole. Good job this time by the defense.
Yep.
First man through 20. Was it 23?
Yes.
33.
33.
33 for the Wildcats. That's Michael Dabo.
Came from his linebacker spot, and just as I mentioned, they were having their way. At some point you just got to say, okay, we have to play a little harder, a little more physical.
Yep.
Okay. Even if they're stronger, bigger, whatever, you have to make up your mind that you're going to compete harder.
Yep. Monk back to pass, fires one deep. He's got Casey Fink out there wide open. Touchdown, Gales.
That's the part of the game that we've seen here early in the season that is there with Hamilton and Fink on the receiving end, Jared. They're both big playmakers.
Marion Fink did a great job of getting that separation between the defender and himself.
Absolutely. Beautiful post pattern ran. Just that, that old wheel route, post and then a wheel. by the Gales there. And how many times have we seen them do that, guys? They run, give them that option action, and then they lull them to sleep. And the next thing you know, you've got Hamilton streaking down the middle of the field, or Fink, excuse me.
Extra point up and good for Peyton Stewart, and the Gales lead at 14-0 with 6:02 to play in this first quarter. Yeah, that was a big surprise, I think, for everybody in the stadium on the game we saw, their first home game against DeSales, when they threw a lot. In fact, Tyler Monk threw for over 200 yards. He passed the ball 22 times, which, to be honest, I'm not trying to be funny, but that's more passing attempts I've seen a Lancaster team throw in 10 years.
Well, that's almost close to a season sometimes.
Yeah, you're right.
Honestly.
You're right.
But, and not being funny about it, this is how they play.
Right.
But the bottom line is, during that game, Jared, as we go back, DeSales forced them to do that, and Lancaster showed that they can put that in their arsenal.
Yep. There's a drive summary for the Gales. 5 plays, 93 yards, a minute 53 off the clock, a 51-yard touchdown pass from Tyler Monk to Casey Fink.
Boy, 2 big plays, and you got 14 points.
Fink and Hamilton are both favorite targets of Tyler Monk, and they've got it down pat, down to a science.
The additional, passing attack that Lancaster has put in also just shows the trust they have in Monk this year. He's a senior coming in, started all 10 games last year, and it shows that Coach Carpenter has really put his trust in him and allows him to kind of open up the offense a little bit and take advantage of those shots down the field.
Yep. Gales to kick it off. Philip Slater to kick it. Davian Williams back deep along with Dustin Williams. Going to go to Davian's side. He'll take it at the 2. Big kick from Philip Slater. Second time in a row we've seen him do that. Davian Williams, a nice move, and dances out of bounds right about the 28-yard line. Good return for the Wildcats.
Yeah, a little more aggressive that time.
And I think we have an official timeout. Official came in immediately and blew the whistle. I don't know if they were maybe taking water breaks tonight, but I guess not. Just looked like he was going to wave it dead there for a minute, but I guess not.
Around 85, 86 degrees today. I mean, a little exceedingly warm. We get warm days in September, but it's still summer officially.
Sherman out of the shotgun again, 1st and 10. Gives it off to Bat Ross, and wow, big hit there and takedown. Number 35 for the Gales, that is Peyton Harris.
Boy, their lateral pursuit's really good right now.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Shu, the backside of the Golden Gales defense is just flying to the football. I mean, there's no respect on the backside. So watch to see if Newark is able to take advantage on some sort of play action or misdirection here.
Sherman this time to Williams, and again, just nothing there up front. There's just no hole there whatsoever.
You got to remember, even though Lancaster's lost 3 games, they play in it might be the toughest conference in the state.
You're right.
I mean, you have the state champion there. You have Pickerington North, Gahanna, Reynoldsburg.
Yeah. Well, I saw something interesting this week. They had the Central Ohio top 10. The top 3 teams are all from the OCC Ohio. Pickerington Central, Pickerington North, and Reynoldsburg. 1, 2, 3.
And Gahanna has really good players.
Yeah. 3rd down and 13 for the Wildcats.
They're coming after it.
Sherman to pass. It's complete, but not enough for a first down. Gets out to the 31. Completed it to number 80, Caden Robinson. And the Wildcats will punt.
Well, a little better there. You learn to clean it up a little bit, stay off the penalties, and you get off the field.
Yep. Kashner spiraling punt. Good punt, good hang time. Fair catch called for and taken by Max Hamilton at the 35. So the Gales go back on offense.
Yeah, it's a 34-yard punt with no return. You'll take that.
Yeah. Kashner just a sophomore. So he's got a couple more years to perfect his craft, and we talk about it all the time. Those skill guys, the punters, the snappers, there's a future for those guys at the next level.
Well, and the bottom line is, too, when you're trying to get a program going, make no, mistake that, the Wildcats have struggled here the last few years.
Yeah.
So trying to get it going, Coach Capacci trying to get it going, you're going to play some young people. When you play young people, you're going to have some struggles some nights.
Monk hands it off. This is Alex Widener up the middle. Good run on first down by Widener for another first down up to the 48.
You know, I always tell people, I'll play your sophomores with my seniors anytime.
Yeah.
Regardless of how great they are or whatever, there's just a maturity level at the high school or collegiate level. It's just a big difference.
1st and 10 Lancaster near midfield. Widener stays in the game, lined up at fullback. Owen Snyder resets to the right side. Here's Widener again. Big hole again up the middle. Tell you what, make no question. There's no question about it. Jackson Reinshield's holding his own in there. Not just holding his own, he's opening some holes for that for those running backs.
Well, they're just gashing them, Jared, right now. It is total domination. Watch the up front blocking right here.
Yep.
I mean, you could put a semi through there.
Yeah.
They're just handling them.
And what a weapon the Gales have, and numerous running backs that are capable of running the football. They're able to get some out for a break and then get more in. Here's Jake Richards now. A high tackle up around the head by the Wildcats gets Jake up to about the 35.
Like I said, at some point you're going to either decide how much you're going to take. You're just going to keep taking it and you're going to come back and compete, or you know, you just keep getting run over.
Right. 2nd and 3. Monk to Widener. Widener has the first down across the 30.
Yeah, that was a better effort, though. 33 for Newark is really giving a good effort. I mean, he's coming in. You know, we talked about him earlier, linebacker. He came in, made a good hit. He did not get him down, but at least his effort's good.
Yeah, that's Michael Dabo. Widener will check out. Mason Hamilton trots onto the field for the Gales. And one guy we haven't seen much of tonight, I don't know if we've seen any of A.J. Cook, another speedster running back that the Gales have.
Not yet.
Here's Richards. Richards with a burst of speed through that hole and gets up into Newark territory, the red zone inside the 20.
You sure that wasn't Jared Stewart?
You know, the question I wanted to ask, guys, how's that going to affect his grade, Jared? That's what I want to know.
Well, I honestly, I only teach freshmen, so Jake's lucky.
Jake's safe, huh?
Yeah, he's safe. I did ask him, though. It is amazing how tight those jerseys are. He said it takes him 20 minutes to get that white jersey on over his shoulder pads.
Wow.
Yeah, 20 minutes. Make them tight nowadays. Up the middle, Lucas Gowerke. Gowerke through that hole and staying on his feet, just bowling his way for more inside the 5. Finally brought down to about the 4.
I love Gowerke's will. That's just competing right there. Not willing to go down.
And what a stable of running backs the Gales have, guys.
No kidding.
You said, Jared, we haven't even mentioned A.J. Cook yet.
Right.
And they're just mulching the Wildcats right now.
Mulching? That's a good word.
That is a good one. Here's Richards. Richards into the end zone for the touchdown, Gales.
Well, Jared, I think our answer has been given to us. The key to the game, the line play on both sides is just, there's no doubt right now.
Yep. Seems like primarily Lancaster's gone either up the middle or to the right side tonight a lot.
You know, just have success.
Also could be comfort, too. Maybe Tyler's more comfortable handing off to that side. Extra point up and good. 1:21 to play in the first quarter, and the Gales up 21-0.
It could be a long night. You know, like I said, you know, the beauty of sports is it teaches you a lot of things, and you know, you're going to find out a lot about yourself tonight on the Newark sideline. You're either going to compete and step up, or you're just going to continue to get run over. You know, it kind of like feels like from a defender side of the Newark players, like when they get up, it's like, where'd that bus come from?
Yeah, you're right.
You know?
7 plays, 65 yards, 2:46 off the clock, a 4-yard touchdown run for Jake Richards. Put the Gales up 21-0. Tonight is also Hall of Fame night for Lancaster, hoping to get some interviews with some of the Hall of Fame inductees. Philip Slater comes back on to kick it off. He's had some really good ones already tonight, all the way back inside the 5 a couple different times.
I still think this is a game that should be played every year.
Oh, I agree.
I mean, this game goes back to probably the 1940s or 30s, Jared.
Davian Williams on the return. He's had a couple of decent ones the last couple, and this one's good as well, up to the 29. You know, I just like Newark and Zanesville, played every year. Newark and Lancaster should be played every year.
Those games, you know, unfortunately I was a part of the old COL, and it's just the way it is. It's good competition. People know each other over the years, and whether a program is trying to reboot a little bit or one's here or there, I think it's just a game that you got to have.
I'd like to see Lancaster Zanesville as well.
Absolutely. That should be.
They started that back up in basketball.
Yes,
recently,
they did.
So. 1st and 10, Wildcats. Firing downfield, just overthrown. Sean Kieser was the intended receiver.
Yeah, good looking throw right there.
Yes, it was.
I'm sure Keys was going to be kicking himself tomorrow morning. That really could have changed the momentum.
Yeah.
Big play, just missed off his fingertips.
Yeah. Yep, he looked left, came back, and boy, he just put it out there. Just a bit too far, but nice looking throw.
2nd and 10 for Newark. Sherman pressured. Zendale Graff is behind him. He's fired one away. This time it's going to be caught by Kieser. A great job by Kieser to go up and get it.
Really good with the defender all over him. And nice play by Sherman creating. You know, he got out of the pocket. He stayed. You know, you thought maybe he was going to run, but he kept his head up and looked downfield. Nice throw.
There's a replay.
Yeah, watch him here.
Did a good job.
Yeah, he comes right. You know, he knows he's approaching, you know, the line of scrimmage. But what a nice throw, Jared.
Yeah, on the run. That's a hard throw to make.
And a good catch by the receiver.
Great job by Kieser to keep a hold of it.
Yep.
As A.J. Cook was right there defensively.
Here it is
Kieser
the
again
other
on the
way.
run. He's got a man down there, one-on-one coverage. Oh, wow. Was that caught? No, they're saying incomplete. It was tipped by Max Hamilton, and then a diving attempt by Dustin Williams.
I thought maybe he had, but, you know, we're
I think
far
so,
away.
too. We are pretty far away, but that looked.
Let's take a review here. I mean, let's look at
see.
the replay.
So you'll see one-on-one coverage. Great coverage by Max Hamilton and a great
job.
throw.
Got
so
his
Hamilton
hand on
tips
it. Now, you know what? He took it, and it looked like it hit the ground.
Did it?
Yeah.
Here we go again.
Watch right here. Watch it go down.
Yeah,
See?
it kind of rolled and, tip of the football rolled on the ground.
It did.
Boy, great job, our camera guys. Wow.
Nobody wanted to see a review from down on the sidelines, though.
I was going to say, guys, if this is the NFL, he probably would have thrown his red flag.
Big hit there. Tristan Rothenberger comes in and just lays a lick on the running back. So I guess in the truck we got to give credit to Aaron Ull as well, you know, for his
we don't.
Slow-mo, backing it up, forward, backing it up.
We don't have to give him anything.
3rd down and 9. Wildcats at the Gale 41. Out to Dustin Williams, and again, not much there. Or was that 35 on the reception?
Oh, his pursuit to the
Peyton
football.
Harris with the tackle, yeah.
Yeah, he was great, Jared. He saw that
And
little
time
flare
runs
pass
out
and
in the first
boy,
quarter
did he
here
bolt.
as the Gales lead at 21-0. What a great start for Lancaster tonight, Tim.
Set the tone early, Jared. When you run the opening kickoff back,
Yeah.
89 yards, that kind of sets the tone for the night. And then just their line play is just totally dominant.
So the Gales off to a great start at 21-0 here at the end of the first quarter. It's a good look at the crowd here at Fulton Field. And we're going to get a look down inside the truck at what our guys do inside there. Our Interface Video Productions crew. And there's Aaron. What's so funny, Aaron?
Oh, I give him a hard time, but Those guys are tremendous.
Aaron and Shane and Bob down there. Bob, turn the camera on yourself. And there's Beth. There's Mason and Beth. Bob's hand. There he is. Doing a great job down there. And, of course, our camera guys, Jim Spires, Jason Roush, and Tom Russo, bringing you all the footage. You know, we say all the time that they're the best in the business. I'm not joking. These guys, they've been doing it for a long time, and they do a phenomenal job. Everybody on our crew, I wouldn't trade them for anything.
Nah, experienced and very, very creative and professional.
Yeah. So 4th down and 12 for Newark. They will punt it. A.J. Cook got in there, but not quite enough to block it. Another good punt inside the 20, inside the 15 for Kashner. So the Gales will take over right about the 11-yard line. Hoping to see Mr. Wigton come up here shortly. He's going to be joining us for a chat as Tyler Monk comes back onto the field to bring the offense. They'll need to go 89 yards this time. It hasn't been a problem so far tonight. Now we've got an official stoppage. Not sure what this is all about. There's the our clock camera. That's the hardest working cameraman we've got.
He's run by the invisible man.
The official was making some kind of announcement. I think he thought that his announcement would go to the press box. I'm not sure what's going on, but they had some kind of stoppage.
12 seconds.
Clock didn't start on the on the kickoff. 1st and 10 Gales. Here's Gowerke. Gowerke across the 20. Look at that cutback. Gets him another 5 yards. Shifty runner.
He's a tough cookie. You know, when he looks at this on film, he's going to see that if he would have come to the right sideline, Jared, he would have had a huge gain.
Yep.
You know, it's not as easy down there as it is from up here, that's
right.
for sure.
Casey Fink splits out wide to the left side. Handoff this time to number 3, Ethan Poe, and Ethan Poe up to the 35. Second down and 1 for Lancaster. Just over 11 minutes to play in this first half. They lead at 21-0. Looking for their first win of the season and first win on their new turf field. A.J. Cook on the ball on the carry this time. Cook trying to get outside, and he's able to get up across the 45, enough for a first down. Marion, we talked about it a little bit earlier. It's like every series they put some new weapon in there in the backfield.
Yes, they do. And, I mean, like I said, it's a testament to the talent that the Gales have to be able to just kind of cycle running backs in and out, and also allows the guys to stay fresh. And to continue to, you know, as the linemen and linebackers for the opposing defense get tired, you know, those running backs continue to run strong because, you know, they're able to surface in and out of the game.
Monk to pass to Casey Fink. Fink's got it inside the 20 to the house. Touchdown Gale.
That's just a great will as a receiver.
Yeah, had to slow down.
Well, he made sure he caught
it,
it, but then he fought off the defender to make sure he got in the end zone. You know, I hate to say it, but he gets that honest. Anybody who knows anything about Casey's dad, he was about as competitive as anybody you find. Watch him fight the ball here. And make sure he stayed in.
Sure, tiptoe the sidelines.
Great job.
Philip Slater comes on to kick the extra point.
What's Monk 2 for 2 for 100 and whatever yards?
I think so. Slater, no doubt about that one, boots it through. 10:21 to play in the first half. Gales up 28-0.
They have just done anything they've wanted to do, really.
Yeah. We go back to Marion. He was so rudely interrupted by that touchdown pass. Marion,
that's quite all right.
How about talk about the stable of running backs that Lancaster has? Doesn't hurt that they've got a former NFL running back as their head coach.
Yes, absolutely. Again, it just speaks to the tradition of the Lancaster Golden Gales program. To be able to have that experience, continuing, from Coach Carpenter, and obviously, his sons have had fantastic success. One particularly was a Bobcat, go Bobcats, and played very well for 4 years down there. But to be able to allow your players to have access to that knowledge, and then to have the talent of so many running backs, surely just says that good things are in store for the Gales for the remainder of the season.
Bringing up Ohio U, Jared, I did want to ask Marion, what do you think about the game this week since it's been moved to a neutral site?
That's right. Marion, what do you think of that? The Bobcats against Virginia, not played neutral at Virginia's home field.
Yeah. Well, number one, I was glad that the game wasn't canceled.
Yeah, you're right.
And number two, obviously just glad everyone's going to be safe and out of harm's way from the storm and whatnot. And, if those things have to happen, then it's okay. I'm sure the Bobcats will adjust and still come out and play well, hopefully, against Virginia.
There's some young Gales in the Lancaster Gales Youth Football Association down there doing some push-ups with the cheerleaders. Wow, big block, big hit on the return. And the return out across the 25 to about the 27-yard line. We've talked plenty about the Gales. Obviously, they're up 28-0, but Coach Capacci for the Wildcats, he's doing a good job. I think he's in year 5, and he's trying to turn things around. And he kind of had a revelation over the last year. He said, one of the things that I think we need to do is more team building stuff and more community involvement, and they've really started to get involved in the classroom of the elementaries and in their community, and he has seen his players. It's helped his players to become a better unit, and I think that's awesome to see that, and I think that if he keeps with it, those players stick with him and believe in that, who knows?
Well, we say every week football game's a community event, and part of your job, or I really feel your obligation, is to be involved in your community, whether it be a player, coach, and whatever that means. I'm a bit of a soft heart to reading. My daughter is actually a literacy coordinator for a school district, and they're touching second graders. These football players are.
Yep. Pass just overthrown by Sherman. Speaking of some of the things they do, I want to highlight those. They partner with the Second and Seven Foundation. They read and distribute books to every second grader in their school district. They host youth, middle school, and Mom's Night football camps. They've partnered with the Newark Police Department to run a 5K to support their canine fund, and they also help with Cram the Cruiser for the needy. So this is a program that they get it. They know that it's more than just a football game. It's more than just being an athlete. It's being a member of your community and contributing. And so hats off to the Newark Wildcats football program and Coach Capacci for getting that done.
That's good stuff.
Got a timeout on the field, and with this timeout, I want to mention we do have one final score already from the weekend. Tays Valley played last night at home hosting Bloom Carroll, who was off to an outstanding start. Tays Valley beat them 35-10. They held Bloom Carroll to just 92 passing yards, 172 total yards. The Vikings they intercepted Otto 4 times, Otto Coons 4 times. But something special about that game that I wanted to mention. It was a cancer awareness night. Both teams had special jerseys on, and what an honor. Our very own Beth Campetti, who battled breast cancer herself, and she's now at the 5-year mile marker. We want to congratulate her, but look at that. Bloom Carroll's Braden McGlone, the center for them, is the neighbor of Bob and Beth Campetti. He wore Beth's name on the back of his jersey last night. What a special moment. And so, Beth, we all love you, and we're so glad that you're part of our team, and we look forward to many more years of you being on our team. And I know that Braden was honored to wear your name on his back last night. Even in a loss, it was a special moment. So congratulations, Beth, and 5 years and counting. Right there she is. Love you, Beth. But on the field last night, just not the outcome Bloom Carroll wanted. Tough MSL game, lost 35-10, and boy, credit Taze Valley's defense. If they're able to hold Otto Coons to just 92 passing yards and intercept him 4 times, that's saying something.
That all started at the lines, Jared. You know, we talked a lot about Carroll's young line last week. You know, a lot of 9th and 10th graders in there and did a really nice job. But once you go to Taze, who has juniors and predominantly seniors, it's a tough gig.
Yeah, absolutely. So right now that would put Taze at the top of the Mid-State League, along with Amanda. They have not lost yet as well. So it's going to be some battles coming down the road in the Mid-State League.
Regardless of how you play, whether you're running power football or you're spreading them all out, Jared, you still have to be physical at the point of attack, regardless of what that means. Now, you can be athletic and physical. You can be big and physical. Whatever it requires, you have to get that done up front, and somehow you have to get that ingrained in you as a football player, especially, like I said, right within that 2-yard that you're looking through the helmet, the guy straight across from you. There's not a lot of time to really escape. There's going to be contact, and you just have to be willing and want to accept that challenge.
1st and 10, Lancaster, 8:49 to play in the first half. They lead at 28-0. Monk has Gowerke right behind him. Richards comes in motion and will take the handoff. He got away from one guy in the backfield. Richards leading or following his blockers, Mason Hamilton, and also out there Vince Albertini.
Yeah, I think Monk got his foot stepped on by one of the linemen. Almost missed the handoff. That happens sometimes when they take those step backs, footwork-wise, when you're moving linemen.
First and 10. Looks like Mike Caldabo got in there quickly. I'm not sure who he's lined up against, but that last time he almost busted up that play in the backfield. Monk down the left sideline, and this time incomplete. Good job defensively. Fink was tied up there for a long time, one-on-one out there. Number 26 for the Wildcats, Harrison Gibson. And then also coming in, Louis Cook. So 2nd down and 10 for Lancaster. Fink has to come off, and they needed a receiver out there in a hurry. So Noah Grulich, another senior, hustles onto the field. Monk hands it off. Gowerke up the middle and up close to the 40. Out the 43-yard line. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and right about 5 or 6.
And guys, when you have an offense that you run like Lancaster's, it's so dependent, upon the run. It's very important to stay on schedule, as they say. We ran an offense similar to this when I was at Ohio University. And when you're able, even when you have a 2nd and 10, and you're able to, get 5 yards on 2nd down and make it 3rd and 5, that helps out tremendously.
Yeah.
So such a great job by Lancaster to be able to move the ball tonight.
Monk out of the shotgun, looking to pass, has Fink out there, and it's caught at the 33-yard line and driven out of bounds at the 34. 1st down, Gales.
That's a really nice throw.
Eleven first downs now for the Gales, just 1 for Newark.
Guys, have they even punted tonight, the Gales?
No, they have not. Good point,
wow.
Marion. Yeah, they've scored every possession, including a return kickoff from the opening kickoff. Here's Gowerke.
That's a really good cut back. There was nothing. The defender did a good job of containing there, and he just saw the gap inside. Got his shoulders squared and headed downfield.
Yeah, I don't see Bobby Carpenter on the sideline tonight. I think that Bobby does a lot of MAC games, college football games. He does what we do and does a great job with that. We mentioned this Carpenter family. Football is in the blood, and it will be for a long, long time. I know that Rob takes pleasure in having his grandkids down there and having them part of the family, the football family. These players, are always around them, and those kids look up to them like their brothers.
Well, sure. I mean, when you're a head coach in a sport, it's a family thing. It really is.
Yeah.
Actually made a couple of my daughters more competitive sometimes because they really want to see me after a loss necessarily come home, because it wasn't always as pleasant as it was when the win.
Gowerke right up the middle, close to the first down marker, but I don't think he got it. Still has plenty of downs, though. It's going to be second down and about 1. Clock rolls at 6:20 to play here in this first half. Gales up 28-0. Keeping Beth busy down in the truck with the stats. Going to be some impressive first half numbers for the Gales. This time Monk keeps it right behind Gowerke, and he's inside the 5. A good job faking it, pulling it out of there, and then following Gowerke up the hole. And we've got an injury for Newark. I think that's number 33. He has not moved since he went down.
No, he hasn't. He's been playing really well.
That is Michael Dabo. He has been playing great tonight. Yeah, and as soon as he went down, he did not move.
No.
I do see him lifting his head now, which is a good sign. Shaking his head. Let's see the replay. Oh, it's not 33. It's 23, isn't it? Is that 23? Yeah, that's 23, not 33.
23?
Yeah, 23. Jade Batros is who that was. He's rolled over, which is a really good sign.
There's just a lot of big bodies right there in a small area.
Almost looked like not only with the shot to the head, but it looked like he got a rib and a knee in his rib as he was pushed to the side. So, Tim, we've got a sponsor that we can thank here as we hopefully get Bat Ross off the field.
Well, we have Old Reliable, Standing Stone Bank. Whether you're ready to tackle a mortgage loan or need cash for home improvements, make Standing Stone Bank the key player in your home or business financial plans. Business to business, neighbor to neighbor. Let's grow this town together. Standing Stone Bank, an equal housing lender, member FDIC.
And, of course, Mike the Ref tonight, which we have not heard them. I don't know if he doesn't have it turned on or what's going on. But Mike the Ref tonight brought to you by Don's Furniture and Mattress, located at 1118 East Main Street in Lancaster. Some other games going on around the area tonight. Logan Elm is at Amanda Clear Creek in a big Mid-State League Buckeye battle. Logan Elm not off to a great start. Amanda Clear Creek is off to a really good start. Westerville North is at Canal Winchester. Fairfield Union on the road tonight at Circleville. It's Bern Union at Grove City Christian. London at Liberty Union. Groveport at Pickerington Central. Fisher Catholic at Ridgedale. Fairfield Christian at Rosecrans. Pickerington North at Westerville Central. And Harvest Prep at Worthington Christian. And we're looking ahead at some games for us. Next week there's going to be several good local games to choose from, and just hard to say, Shu. There's some good ones out there.
Well, it only gets more interesting as we move along. We're already week 4, though, and it's not even autumn yet officially, So, and it didn't feel like autumn today anyway.
Not a bit.
But, next weekend actually starts official fall calendar-wise, and, we'll be halfway through the season next week. That's hard to believe how fast it goes, isn't it?
So, first and goal for the Gales. Monk to pass over the middle. Good defense. Getting a hand in there for the Wildcats was number 26 or 22. Somebody doing some traveling tonight.
Is that Bob's drone? The moon's awesome out there, too, tonight.
Yes,
Jared.
it is.
If you look up, could be sitting on the crust.
Good job again defensively by the Wildcats to stop Gowerke right about the 1 yard line. A short gain. It'll bring up a 3rd and goal for the Gales. What are you calling here, Marion?
I'm really anything. I think they have their pick of the litter, the way the offense has gone for the Gales tonight. Most likely, you'll probably see some sort of counter. with a guard pulling, and we'll see if the Gales can get it in.
Monk under center. Richards in motion. Takes the handoff, and you're right. Just about anything. Richards into the end zone for the touchdown. Second touchdown of the night for Jake. Puts him up 34-0 with the extra point to come. Off the foot of Philip Slater. Out of the hold of Curtis Young. Something new. Haven't heard that before. They've got the siren blaring for the touchdown. Hurricane warning. Extra point is up and good for Philip Slater, and the Gales lead at 35-0. 5:03 to play, and there's a good look at Jackson Reinshield, and grew up best friends with Jake Richards right behind him as Jake ran that one in for the touchdown.
Hey, next man up.
Yeah.
You know, whether injury or something else comes up, you got to be ready to play, and that you got to appreciate that.
Shu, listen to these few games as we have there's the drive summary. We'll get to the few games for next week in just a minute. 10 plays, 58 yards, 3:46 off the clock, a 1-yard touchdown run by Jake Richards. But listen to these 3 games that we can choose from next week. Fisher Catholic at Bern Union, always a battle.
That should be a doozy.
Amanda Clear Creek at Fairfield Union, always a battle. Hamilton Township at Bloom Carroll. So there are some good games out there in the Mid-State League Buckeye that we can choose from next week.
That's interesting to see how the Falcons do tonight also, because I saw them early in the year, the first game, and they had some things to iron out and get some wrinkles off the offense and defense, but they came back with a big win last week, I thought, on the road. When you win 28-0, I don't care where you're playing and who you're playing, on the road, I thought that really helped them probably get some confidence and know that they could be maybe a factor in that Mid-State Buckeye.
Right. To kick it off will be Peyton Stewart for the Gales. I'll give you some scores here in just a moment from games going on around the area. We mentioned those that are taking place.
Hey, we also got to, I know Jared's got to be feeling really good right now. That Aaron's feeling really good. I meant to say Jared Aaron's feeling really good after the Bengals game last night.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
He hasn't had too much to cheer about here, and they're looking pretty good right now.
Andy Dalton always seems to play well at the beginning of the season.
It takes a team.
Yeah.
The quarterback's going to get a lot of credit, and he's going to get a lot of blame. That's just part of the nature. But you don't say the quarterback on an NFL team for 8 or 9 years if you're not any good.
Right.
That's my contention.
Oh, I agree.
Doesn't hurt that he has A.J. Green to throw to either, guys. My goodness.
No, you have to have people around you. First of all, they got to block for you, and then you have to have people who can catch it, and you have to have people who can run it. And Mixon helping also in the backfield makes a big difference.
That's right.
Timeout on the field. Our timeouts tonight being brought to you by the Carriage Company, located at 1031 North Memorial Drive. You can check out their website at carriagecompany.com. Out at Amanda Clear Creek, the Aces are tied up 7-7 in the second quarter with Logan Elm. Bishop Rosecrans lead Fairfield Christian 13-0. It is Fisher Catholic all over Ridgedale in the second quarter, 34-0.
Wow.
Fairfield Union leads Circleville 19-7 in the second quarter. London over Liberty Union 14-0 in the first quarter. And Bern Union leads Grove City Christian 16-13 in the second quarter.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Fisher wins up at Morrill, up near Marion. If they win tonight, they're coming in undefeated. Bern wins tonight. They're 3-1. That will be a rocker.
Yes, it will. That's at Bern, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
We've been down there several times for that matchup, and always a fun atmosphere.
It is fun.
Sherman back to pass. Checks down to his short receiver on the screen and can't hit him.
Good coverage right there by the Gale secondary. Well, we just got a note in our ear that right now, compiling stats, it's the Gales have 299, Newark has 26.
Wow.
And the score is definitely indicative of the statistics tonight.
Here's a handoff coming around to Dustin Williams, and just not much there again. So if they only have 26 total yards, Shu, that first possession they had where they had 2 15-yard penalties, those 2 penalties on the Gales gained more yards for them than
that's true
right now than their offense
has.
Kept
that drive alive twice.
And Lancaster returned that first kickoff. So, as our coach used to say, hidden yardage there, as well. So it's
That's
true dominance by the Gales tonight.
Third down and 11 for the Wildcats. Sherman checks out of the play, looks over at Coach Capacci for a new play. Back to pass, looking downfield, has time this time, and now it collapses on him, and he's brought down. Carson Rainier in there, as well as number 42 for the Gales. And that is, I don't have 42 on my roster. Somebody changed numbers.
Sure wasn't 92?
Maybe it was 92. Could have been 92 or 72. If it's 92, that's Zendale Graff. He changed from 53 to 92, apparently.
Jared, you have your readers on tonight?
I need to borrow shoes.
Well, shoes won't help you see.
Did you remember yours tonight?
Absolutely.
Your chauffeur didn't come to pick you up tonight
I
to remind
know.
you.
I had to take care of myself today.
I forgot to tell Bob about that.
Just keep it in our locker room, okay? Not everything needs to go out there. I'm not a Facebook guy anyway.
Come on, if a picture of me, fat guy in a little jersey, goes out.
I just don't get in the jersey.
Wouldn't that be funny, though? I mean, people always joke around about high school baseball coaches, wearing uniforms. And then they say, could you imagine a high school basketball coach wearing a uniform?
No.
Or a football coach?
No.
Although, Coach Carpenter used to wear cleats when they still had grass out here. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Second down.
But you remember the days of Paul Brown back in the early days, wore shirt and tie. And Norm Van Brockland, who coached the Falcons, was a great NFL quarterback. He always wore a white shirt and a tie. Tom Landry with his hat and style. I mean, it's just different. And
well, his name just escaped me, but the PJ Fleck that went to Minnesota. He doesn't necessarily. I mean, he wears something over it, but he always has a tie on underneath his jacket.
Whatever works.
Got another injury down for Newark. And again, not much movement after the injury. This one is number 7, Darren Hale. Got 2:40 on the clock before halftime, and coming up at halftime, we will have our halftime band show, which I'll go ahead and tell you about. That'll be coming up in 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Actually, probably a little more than that, but at halftime, it'll be brought to you by Frank E. Smith Funeral Home, Crematory and Monuments, family-owned and operated since 1889. Check them out at funeralhome.com. The Frank E. Smith Funeral Home, respect for tradition, regard for change. The band show will also be brought to you by Fairfield Federal. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan makes it easy to take control of your personal finances and build your wealth. You can access and manage your accounts 24 hours a day with our internet banking and bill pay service. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan specializes in banking that revolves around you. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Actually, we saw the replay there, Jared, as you got into the reads, and it looked like he got hit by friendly fire.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Just incidental contact. There was contact with one of his teammates. Watch it here again.
Number 7 coming in.
Yeah, watch him step up, and watch right here.
Right at the end, he might have gotten maybe his calf stepped on or something.
And that's a big guy that's landing on right on him there.
That's Scott Cannon, 6'6", 250.
Make you disappear fast.
Yeah. Darren Hale, 6'1", 170. It will be 1st and 10 for the Gales at the Wildcat 43-yard line. 2:40 showing on the clock to play in the first half. Gales lead at 35-0. They have not punted tonight. Have scored on every possession, as well as the opening kickoff.
Well, we talked about them. They just have to be more efficient and pay attention to detail.
Yeah.
And obviously they're still doing that, practicing that way, because it's showing in tonight's game. And there we go. We have
fumbled snap.
As soon as I mentioned that.
Monk was able to fall on it.
I think I gave him the voodoo curse from up here.
Curse of the shoe. Curse of the shoe.
I mentioned our ref mic'd up sponsor, but I didn't give you the officiating crew. I'll give you that after this play. Always like to give credit to those officials. They put in a lot of hard work as well. Most of them after a long day of work. Here's a double handoff coming to Richards. Richards, main blocker out there is Tyler Monk. He gets the block from him, and he's going to the house. Third touchdown of the night for Jake Richards.
That's your quarterback out there. You got to love it.
Great job by Tyler to be the lead blocker for Jake Richards. Peyton Stewart on to kick the extra point again out of the hold of Curtis Young. It is up and it is good.
And he's been perfect tonight.
He has. And last week, the last one, kind of debate, was it blocked? Was it just a low trajectory? Some say it was a low trajectory, and that's what caused it to get blocked, but they lost 14-13 because of that. Here's that double handoff.
Yeah.
Watch Tyler,
part of
number 7.
It's a great block by a quarterback.
Absolutely.
Right there.
And then another good block there by, that was Noah Grulich out there as well.
But he didn't have to make his.
Yeah,
Tyler had to
he was
make
already
that
passed.
one.
Yeah, Jake was. 42-0, a minute 59 to play in the first half. Boy, not much has gone wrong at all for the Gales tonight. That first defensive series, two silly penalties.
Yeah.
Other than that, they've been pretty perfect. Here's the officials for tonight.
Now, as you can see, the referee is Gabe Tomlin, the umpire Jake Smith, the linesman is James Gamble, the line judge is Christine Cordy, and the back judge is Jeremy Frick.
Really haven't seen much of the officials tonight. Not much laundry on the field.
That's a good sign.
That's a very good thing.
That's a very good sign.
So the Gales will kick it off. It'll be Peyton Stewart to kick it. Back deep for the Wildcats. Davian Williams, number 3. And it looks like on the other side, that's number 11, Dustin Williams. Stewart's kick will be taken at the 11. Get to that drive summary momentarily as the kickoff taken back to the 30-yard line. Brought down by Noah Grulich. 4 plays, 58 yards, a minute 26 off the clock. A 43-yard touchdown run by Jake Richards with the help from his lead blocker, his quarterback, Tyler Monk.
And guys, it looks like number 11, Dustin Williams, might have been injured on that play. Staying in the game, but looks like he was banged up, holding his hand or maybe arm or shoulder, perhaps.
Yeah, and he did trot off late there, Marion. They've had several injuries here in this quarter.
Yeah, the Newark trainer's been very busy.
Sherman rolling out the pass. He's pressured. He completes the pass. Good-looking pass out to the 35-yard line.
Yep, that's a real good throw. On the move the pocket, put it right where you need to put it.
Completed to Davian Williams. Second and 7. Clock stopped at a minute 45 here in the second quarter. Low snap, but Sherman picks it up and just going to take off with it. Trying to get to the outside, and he's going to be dragged out of bounds by number 4 for the Gales, and that is Isaac Oatney.
He did a good job. You see him tuck the ball tight to his body to keep it up to make sure protected the football.
No gain on the play. 3rd down and 7 for Newark.
You know, guys, sometimes when it just comes to the simple things, Lancaster, when they see flow, they are just sprinting to the ball immediately. I know I said that before. And Newark, the linebackers and secondary just seem to be a tad late on the other side of the football, and that's really been the difference that I've seen.
Pitch out to Williams. Good run here. I believe this is going to be the first down that they've gained, actually, not given to them by a penalty.
Well, we also saw space. That's really the first time we saw really good blocking on the right side there. They had a nice gap and got his shoulders square and got upfield.
First and 10 at their own 43. Empty backfield, trips to the left side. Davian Williams now in motion, takes the handoff. Good cut. And following his blockers, Davian Williams up the sideline. I think he's close to a first down, but he might have stepped out just shy of it at about the Gale 48.
Two good plays run to the right there. Got some blocking, and the runners were more aggressive.
Second down and 1, minute 13 to play in the half. Sherman to pass and overthrew his receiver, Davian Williams.
Looked like Sherman just put a little bit too much mustard on that one. I'm sure one he'd like to have back. Just get it to Williams really quick and just let him make a play with it.
So third down and 1 here for the Wildcats. Just over 1 minute to play in the half. Sherman hands off. Wow, big time job there coming in for the Gales. That's Owen Snyder to bury him for a loss along with Tristan Rothenberger. 4th and 5.
That's just aggressive linebacker play right there. I love it.
Yeah, it was Owen Snyder from that outside linebacker spot and Tristan Rothenberger from that inside spot in the middle. And that caused them to have to punt. Max Hamilton calls for the fair catch at the 20-yard line. 33 seconds on the clock for the Gales.
I would say this will just be a fullback handoff, hopefully.
Or do they want to keep their scoring streak alive?
No, no. It means absolutely nothing. Just run a play.
Right.
You know, the whole key to any game is, you just got to try to get better. So run a play and try to do it better. Block it better. You should do your footwork better. Whatever it is, do it better. The next play.
They lead it 42-0 with 33 seconds to play in the half. Monk hands it off. Coming around the near side is Brock Thomas. And he fumbled the football, and Newark got it. Yeah, the linesman, or line judge, Christine Cordy, came in immediately and signaled that was Newark football.
Yeah, I thought he covered it first.
So first carry for Brock Thomas doesn't end well, and the Gales, for the first offensive possession tonight, or the first time they haven't scored, they turn it over on a fumble. So now for Newark, they've got some life here just outside the 20 with 26 seconds to play in the half. Sherman will have Davian Williams standing to his right. Looking to pass, lofts one to the end zone, one-on-one coverage down there, and incomplete intended for Sean Keyser.
We threw it to a spot, and it's the right spot, the back corner of the end zone to the pylon, but Keyser just couldn't quite get there.
Noah Grulich was on the coverage for the Gales.
Great effort on that one, and the Wildcats had exactly what they wanted. Just couldn't quite get that play in the end zone.
Sherman rolls to the far side looking. Fires one. It's caught at the 12. And Newark will call a quick timeout with 12 seconds showing on the clock. They'll have the ball at the 12-yard line. It's close to a first down.
About a yard short, I believe, Jared.
So it'll be 3rd and 1.
They got one timeout, so probably going to run a play here. Mm-hmm. If you're not successful, then you bring on your kicker if you have one.
Yeah, they do have a good kicker.
Yeah.
Sean Kashner, or not Garrett Kashner, that is, on the season. Field goal-wise, he is he's 2 for 2 on field goals, along of 27. He's 9 for 9 on PATs this year. So he's accurate.
Yeah, can't do any better than that.
No.
And just to get something positive going into halftime is huge.
They'll have 3rd down and 1. The ball's going to be spotted just outside the 12, and they need to get just inside the 12, so about a yard with 12 seconds showing on the clock. 3 receivers to the left side. Davian Williams stands to the left of Jake Sherman. Sherman drops back to pass, lofts one to the right side corner of the end zone, and overthrown. Bring up a 4th down with 7 seconds. Those are throws that I'm sure this sophomore quarterback over the next couple of years will perfect.
Well, that takes a lot of skill
Yeah.
and accuracy and timing. There's a lot that goes into that between receiver and quarterback chair. Those are not easy completions.
They're going to go for it here.
Love the call.
Sherman kept the football. Probably should have pitched it.
Don't like the results, though.
No, he was buried back there. Leading the charge for the Gales, number 28. That was Reese Burwell along with Owen Snyder, and that takes us to the half with the Lancaster Golden Gales up 42-0 at halftime. We're going to take a timeout. The halftime band show is coming your way next on the Interface Video Productions Buffalo Wild Wings High School Football Game of the Week. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to the High School Football Game of the Week. I'm Jaron Stewart alongside Tim Shoemaker. Tonight, we've got a great one for you. The Blue Carroll Bulldogs.
It was great being in practice, even in the rain and the weather.
Schneider, lots of running room to midfield. He's gone. Rush Schneider down the near sideline for a touchdown for the Aces.
We have a hold on the offense, number 20. That penalty will be declined. They'll bring up 4th down.
We're going to give you this game ball here because you're a Tiberios fan of the game. And thanks for being here, Jacob.
The Polar Bears are your OAC tournament champions. First time since 2009. What an exciting finish for the Ohio Northern Polar Bears.
Congratulations, and be very proud of this trophy because you've earned it.
IVP Sports presents the Buffalo Wild Wings High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by Ohio University Lancaster, Fairfield Medical Center, Standing Stone Bank, North Body Shop, Dawn's Furniture, South Central Power, Fairfield DD, Meals on Wheels, Fairfield National Bank, Kumler Collision and Automotive, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Parks, the Edwards Insurance Agency, Dagger Law, the Carriage Company, Blue Line Designs, Personal Touch Party Rentals, the Huddle Tire Company, Fairfield Federal, Lines Auto Service, Sheridan Funeral Home, and Buckeye Lake Marina.
My name is Ernest Elton Keaton, Ernie, 11th month, 15th day of 1947. I have a very interesting life. I worked for 51 years. It just come to me, what I wanted to do. Come a long way with all the pictures I've taken. I enjoy doing it to make people not sad, but happy. You know, and I have. I'm trying to do the best I can, be kind to people and everything. So I try my very best to do what's right and not wrong. It's a boring world if everybody the everything. Same thing, same lights, you know. It'd be a boring world, I think.
Hi, I'm Rich. Welcome to Lines Auto Service.
Lines Auto Service, a full-service preventative maintenance and automotive repair center. Our employees are dedicated, hard-working members of this community and care about you and your vehicle long after you leave. Lines Auto Service is family-owned and operated and uses the latest in diagnostic equipment to guarantee your vehicle is serviced correctly. We use only quality replacement parts, and our expert team of ASE certified technicians will treat you with courtesy and respect. Stop by and see us at Lines Auto Service, 268 North Broad Street in Bremen, and we'll look forward to calling you our friend.
The Frank E. Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our 2 locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster or 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Being a first-time parent is very nerve-wracking going into the hospital. You don't really know what to expect. The nurses, the staff, the doctors, everyone at Fairfield Medical Center was very attentive. They just put my mind at ease. They answered any questions we asked. They supported us through the whole delivery, the post-delivery, our stay in the hospital. We felt like we were part of their family. I wouldn't have put myself or my daughter in anybody else's hands. Experience Fairfield Medical Center.
Come experience the Huddle Tire difference. Locally owned and operated since 1910, we're your independent tire and auto repair shop. We carry all major brands of tires, including Goodyear, Cooper, BF Goodrich, and many more. But we're more than just tires. From safety inspections to alignments, brakes, shocks, and struts, even preventive maintenance, we can handle it all. Enjoy the ride at Huddle Tire Company, 300 South Columbus Street, or we can be reached at our website at huddletire.com.
At Dagger Law, we have more than 110 years of combined expertise in nearly every part of law.
What I think sets us apart from any other law firm is our ability to work together.
With us, you're getting a trusted partner, in addition to a team who can help you with a growing business, changing family, planning your future, or dealing with land issues.
It's a challenge every day, and you meet an awful lot of nice people.
Your case matters. We'll take the time and the energy to ensure that you have a quality experience, quality representation.
Whatever you need, we have a lawyer who can help. Dagger Law. Local, trusted, experienced. For nearly 90 years, Kumler Collision and Automotive has shown a commitment to excellence with decades of experience and a passion for auto and body repair. Over the years, we've been a big part of seeing this community grow. Our employees are dedicated, hard-working members of this community and care about our customers long after they leave. Kumler Collision and Automotive. We're your neighbors, your friends, and if it's important to your family, it's important to ours.
Leah, did you put a new dent in that?
This one? No.
Were you texting and driving again?
Yes.
Hi, Leah.
Hi, Dad.
Sorry about your bumper.
Meals on Wheels gives me a chance to be totally selfless. More than the food itself, a lot of seniors don't have family. So just to have someone to talk to, just to say, hey, how was your day? That means so much more than a meal could ever mean. We have to look outside of ourselves to be that lifeline to other people. It's worth it.
Imagine your possibilities at Ohio University Lancaster Pickerington. With over 250 majors to choose from, I get a great college education at half the price of other schools.
A lot of large campuses have huge class sizes where the professors don't even know you. At Ohio University, the classes are very small and the support you have is fantastic.
Campus life is awesome. There's always something to do between all the athletic events, student groups, and activities that you can always find your place in.
Welcome home.
Welcome home.
Welcome home to Ohio University Lancaster Pickerington.
They thought maybe because we wear headsets.
Does he know when he was here?
You guys hear me in the truck?
But only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man who gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
I'm Rudy Tempesta. I'm 92 years old. I fought in World War II. Then I came home, worked for the post office for 70 years. I've been getting Meals on Wheels, and I enjoy it. The most important thing about Meals on Wheels is you meet the people, which to me is fantastic. You need people to keep your brain moving. That's what life is about. It's love and having a conversation with people.
I remember, Dad, you and Mom got this car with a hatchback. I said, I'd be happy to give you the money to get a really great car. And he said, well, no, this works for me. I says, why? Because it's the right height to put the meals in. Dad, tell me when you first got an inkling about Meals on Wheels.
There was kind of an abandoned house. That's where we got started with Meals on Wheels. We kind of filled a need for people as they got older.
It's the human interaction that probably fed them much more than the food.
Oh, yeah. When you can see somebody else benefiting by your life in some way, you can't help but feel good about it, I think.
Well, the reason I'm involved, Dad, is because you are, and you're so inspiring. How you've impacted people is enormous.
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at americaletsdolunch.org.
America, let's do lunch.
Welcome back to Fulton Field. Your halftime score is Lancaster 42, Newark 0. And the Gales just have been rolling since the opening kickoff, literally. Max Hamilton took that opening kickoff and just burst through that hole like a rocket and ran it for a touchdown, and it's been no looking back for the Gales. Our first half summary report brought to you by Sheridan Funeral Home. Sheridan Funeral Home is proud to be supporting Lancaster high school supporting high school football, that is. They've been serving the communities of Lancaster and Fairfield County for over 100 years, and I kind of touched on it, but the summary report basically is just, Gales haven't really done anything wrong, minus a couple penalties and one turnover there late.
Yeah, but their defense stood strong there at the end, and you got to give them credit. They want that 0, at least for that half, and that's big. And you got to find things to play for when the game's like this. Whichever side you're on, you somehow have to make improvement this half.
I want to say hey to our longtime cameraman, Brian Callahan. He's down in the truck visiting with the guys. Hey, Brian, good to see you. Where is he? There he is. Ran camera for us for many, many years. Top-notch guy and top-notch cameraman as well. Speaking of top-notch, Beth has some stats down there. She's top-notch. She had to be in that first half with all the stats going on. Halftime stats are brought to you by Fairfield County Parks, inviting you and your families to come out September 22nd and 23rd to our harvest celebration at Smeck Park in Baltimore. Watch as the Fairfield County Antique Tractor Club uses early farm machinery to bring in the harvest. Enjoy games, crafts, activities, food trucks, live music, and more. Visit fairfieldcountyparks.org. And there they are, Shu.
Those look like game stats. Lancaster has 405 yards and Newark 72. Jared.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think they'll get 800 yards just because, the clock, and we're going to see some other people play this half, but quite a half. Not much else to say, really. 14 first downs to 2, and only 2 penalties in the game. And, the one positive for Newark, they haven't had a penalty.
That's hard to believe.
Yeah, give them credit.
Yeah.
They know how to line up, and they know what they're supposed to do. So, it's a programming growth.
Yep.
And how fast you make those growth spurts depends on how hard you work a lot of times.
So the Gales will kick it off to begin the second half. Back deep for Newark. On the far side is Davian Williams. The near side is Dustin Williams. And that kickoff goes into the end zone. Big boot there for the Gales kicker, Philip Slater.
Just about hit midway in the end zone, Jared. That's a weapon in high school.
Yeah.
That is such a weapon.
Yep.
I'm telling you, I'm trying to convince my grandson who can really kick. He's 8, but get started now. We saw Shirky last week for Carroll.
Yeah.
It's totally such a critical part of the game.
Right. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Newark. The Wildcats. Sherman screen pass out to Williams and brought down immediately by the Gales, number 3, Ethan Poe.
Marion mentioned how hard Lancaster's defense is playing and how fast they're running to the ball. And there's another example right there, that play.
Yeah.
It looked like it was made for a more positive gain than 1 yard.
2nd down and 9. Sherman back to pass through the hands of his intended receiver. Going to bring up a 3rd and 9. I see warming up down on the sideline, Titan Johnson, sophomore backup quarterback for the Gales, and he's a backup quarterback, but he plays a lot on special teams and defense as with the first unit. And we saw him last year or 2 years ago in the Sherman-Ewing game.
That's right.
Light it up. So they've got some talent coming behind Tyler Monk, and looks like we're going to get a chance to see Titan tonight. As on 3rd down and 9, the Gales take a timeout.
Prior to the snap, timeout. Newark, their first of the half.
There we go. Our mic'd up official is working now. I believe it wasn't his fault. We got to make sure we point that out. It wasn't his fault. There was some equipment malfunctions as the officials wear headsets to talk to each other, and he also had on the mic for our broadcast, and they were crossing over. Their feeds were getting mixed up, and so he wasn't able to. We weren't able to get his feed onto our airwaves. So now we've got that figured out. So.
Jared, there's so much wireless and so many wires running around in the air at this point. And it's inconceivable to me how any of it works.
Yeah. Tim, you were asking about some other local scores. I know we don't do a lot of the MVL schools around the area, but they are local. I mean, you've got New Lex local, Sheridan's local. Yep. So I want to get to some of those scores in the MVL. That's a very good conference up around the Muskingum County area, Perry County area. Just a really good conference, just like the Mid-State League. And so I want to get to some of those scores as well, as a lot of people in our area are interested in those teams. As on 3rd down and 9, Sherman has swarmed Jake Richards leading the charge out of that linebacker spot. So some of those MVL scores, John Glenn leads Philo at halftime 7-6. Tri-Valley all over Crooksville 35-0 in the 3rd quarter. It is Maysville leading New Lexington 14-8 in the 3rd quarter. And right now for the MVL, that's all I have. Punt going to be taken by Max Hamilton at the 42, trying to get some room. He's got so much speed, he can cut back to the other side of the field, but there's a flag coming in as he is dragged down at the 40, and I believe that's going to be on the Gales. We'll get our call from the official. Here it comes.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team, number 72. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Gabe Tomlin is the referee, and I remember him from last year. He is really, really good.
It's very concise and clear. I like it.
Really good. Apologize to him that we weren't able to get him some FaceTime earlier in the game, but That's a good thing, though. We mentioned,
No.
not just his mic not working, but the fact that there were minimal flags.
2 penalties.
Yeah, and they were in the first drive.
Yep.
So 1st and 10 for the Gales. Titan Johnson is in at quarterback to begin this second half for Lancaster. Coming in motion and taking the handoff for Lancaster is number 16, Brock Thomas. A nice run for Brock, and how about that? He avenges that fumble that he had earlier with a nice run there for a first down.
He needed that.
Yes, he did.
You fumble the ball sometime as a running back. You don't see the play for a while. Playing field.
We have another flag on the play. We'll get that in just a moment. I'm going to ask Marion about that in a minute.
During the run, incidental 5-yard face mask, defense number 36. 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. First down.
So, Marion, did that ever happen to you where you might have fumbled and then you were sent to the doghouse and didn't get many touches after that?
Not in high school. And again, it wasn't because I never fumbled. I certainly did and would have loved to have a lot of those back. But, when you try to get your best players the ball a lot of times. So luckily, I usually had a very long leash with our coach, to say the least.
You played for Coach Grobe, right?
I did. At Ohio University, I did play for Coach Grobe. And while, again, he was very short with the leash with fumbles, he was also with drops. So you knew that as a receiver, you didn't make any mistakes dropping the football, and you couldn't fumble it as well if you were a running back.
Sage Hill on the carry on first down up the middle for the Gales. Good pickup of about 4. Sage is a 5'10", 170-pound junior.
Can see here, again, a good blast from the point of attack, Jared. Getting off the ball, moving people back.
Running clock here in the second half as long as it stays above 30. 2nd and 6 for Lancaster. Titan Johnson again has Hill right behind him. He will hand it off to the running back coming around. That's 31. That's Cole Smith. Cole Smith down inside the 10, inside the 5. Nice run for the junior running back, Cole Smith.
Jared, Dick Shore would be proud. That looked like bowling for dollars.
And here again, guys, Lancaster just cycling new running backs in. Guys just ripping off 12, 15, 20-yard runs just like it's nothing.
Yep. Good look right there.
Watch
at that
here.
Run.
Kabing, kaboom.
Could have been another. Maybe it wasn't a face mask. His head just got rocked around there a little bit, but a great job on the run by Cole Smith.
He had a 4-10 split there.
Johnson looks over the defense, sends Thomas in motion, hands off to Sage Hill, who's into the end zone for the touchdown. Nice job by Sage Hill. He took a little step to the side there to get around.
He read the blocking. The middle of Lancaster's line, all their lines have been good, but the middle of their line has been totally dominant.
Yeah.
And, guys, we haven't got to our South Central Power lineman of the game yet, but it's going to be a short list for me, and I think leading the charge there is going to be number 51, Jackson Reinshield, stepping in, as you mentioned earlier in the game, Jared, as we had a missed extra point there, but stepping in off of the other lineman being out, and Lancaster not missing a beat and really dominating the line of scrimmage, particularly in the middle of the football field.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Jackson has stepped up and played a great game, and as you mentioned earlier, Schutz, next man up.
Well, it is, and it's people also forget, and I know Marion's quite aware of this, but it's such a group effort. Those 5 or maybe even 6 with the tight end, that is such a group effort to get it done at that point of attack.
Let's take a look at the schedules after we get this drive summary. 5 plays, 55 yards, 3:08 off the clock, a 1-yard touchdown run for Sage Hill. Let's take a look at the schedules for remaining for these two teams after tonight. Of course, we know for the Gales, it just is a meat grinder.
They go to Upper Arlington. Grove City has struggled, so that'll be interesting. But then you get the state champs in Pick Central. You got Gahanna. Then you go to Pick North and you play Reynoldsburg. So. But if you love competition, you're okay with it.
Well, and they always, it doesn't matter. They compete well with Pick Central, Pick North. Reynoldsburg's had their number lately, but last year lost to Pick Central, I believe, by 4. And Pick Central goes on to win the state championship. And for the Gales, the good thing is that one is at home and Reynoldsburg's at home.
They lost by 1.
Did they just lose by 1?
1 point.
Okay.
I was thinking it was Pick Central 1 point. But, you look at Newark's schedule. They get Central Crossing coming in, then they go to Big Walnut and welcome New Albany to Whitefield. And, they've got some definitely winnable games.
Yeah.
So they've got to take and make something positive out of this half and then move on.
After the touchdown, the missed extra point, it is 48-0 Gales. Another kickoff into the end zone for Philip Slater.
Yeah, that one hit the middle of the tee.
Want to tell you, we have made our decision, and coming up next week, we were going to be down in Sugar Grove to see the big battle between the Bern Union Rockets and the Fisher Catholic Irish.
That will be entertaining.
Yes, it will.
Big
Let's see what
Mid-State League
see what
Cardinal.
those two teams are doing right now. Fisher Catholic in the third quarter leads 48-0.
Ooh.
Bern Union in a tight one leads 24-20 over Grove City Christian in the third quarter. Here's Williams across the 20, short gain on the play. Brought down by Max Hamilton and Jake Richards. Both of those guys get up limping.
They may have banged knees
Each other, yeah.
Yeah.
And Williams is down for Newark.
Now they're helping him up here, but I don't know if he's gonna.
He's gonna go back down now.
Yeah. That's good of their teammates, but you really, really should just, in all honesty, let the player be dealt with by the training staff. Players meant well.
Yep.
And I was actually just going to mention, guys, it's such a tough dilemma for a head coach like head coach Capacci has tonight. You want to get your guys some experience, particularly, when you have a younger football team and a team that hasn't had a lot of rhythm on the offensive side of the football. So you want to leave them in, but at the same time, when it's 48-0 like it is, you don't want to have guys out there susceptible to injuries. And somebody goes down with a serious injury in a game like that, and you hate to see that. Hopefully Johnson's injury isn't too bad here. We see he's limping off now, but just such a tough call as a coach to figure out what to do there.
You're right, Marion. I mean, it all depends on how much depth you have at some positions and all those. There's a lot of factors that go into that. It has nothing to do with like or dislike of anybody or anything. It's just a tough decision to make because you've still got 6 games to play. Mm-hmm. And as I said, looking at their schedule, there's some definitely games on there that they can play with or defeat on that schedule.
Right. 2nd down and 9 for the Wildcats. Some of the home side crowd looks like it's dissipated, but the student section for the Gales looking good tonight in their Hawaiian attire. It's still full over there. On 2nd down and 9, not much there for the Wildcats, just swarmed under.
Jared, there's 11 Gales within 4 yards of each other there.
There's a look inside that Gale student section. The Fulton Fanatics.
I believe it was Hawaiian night, and certainly the temperature felt like it when we started this thing, didn't it?
You're right. Definitely
At least there was no volcano, unless it was Lancaster's offense.
Like the way they do it here at Fulton Field with the Fulton Fanatics. They go seniors, get the bottom row, and work their way up. Seniors, juniors, sophomores, freshmen. Here's a pass downfield. And again, just out of the reach of intended receiver. That's Sean Keyser. That'll bring up a 4th down and 13, and the Wildcats will punt. Clock continues to roll.
Didn't you say Keyser's the punter?
No, that's
okay.
Kashner.
Okay. No, he's back in the game, though.
Yep, here he comes. Oops. He wanted to go get a breather, and there was an empty spot on that line.
He just ran a fly pattern for 50 yards, and I said, get back in there.
A.J. Cook almost got a hand on it. Kashner gets the punt away, and it goes out of bounds at the 46-yard line. 46-yard line. Good field position for the Gales to start this drive. They put the second team in there to start the third quarter, and they drove it right down the field and scored.
Yeah, with 4:05 to go in the third quarter, why not play people? As I said, you've got 60% of your season coming up.
Yeah.
You've got to try to maintain some whatever depth you have at whatever position it is.
Yep. Now the only starters remaining on the field is that offensive line, which is understandable. Varsity game, they might not have that depth available to them
exactly
on the line. And of course, you have a JV game tomorrow.
Right. There's only so many quarters they're permitted to play too.
Here's a handoff coming around for the Gales. Once again, Cole Smith. Cole Smith cuts back inside. He's down inside the 30. Cole Smith with 2 runs tonight, both for at least 15 yards.
Just took his time, made good reads there. I tell you, Quentin Burke did a good job, Jared. He got out there and he actually blocked 2 different people on that play. Did a really good job.
I was talking to Quentin at school a couple weeks ago. He was really excited. He's been getting letters from teams. He's just a junior. He's a pretty big prospect on the offensive line. And I'll tell you about the special letter he got last week as Titan Johnson hands off again to Brock Thomas. And Thomas just does anything he can just to try to get back to the line of scrimmage. But back to Quentin Burke. He's just a phenomenal kid. Number 54, 6'5", 275, and a junior. He got a letter from Coach Fickle down at Cincinnati, just telling him, we've got our eye on you. You've been noticed as one of the top offensive linemen in the country. We're going to be watching you. And the cool thing about it was there was a picture of a locker, a Cincinnati UC locker, and the nameplate Burke with the number 54 and a jersey with Burke on it, 54 in it. It just he was so excited. And just cool to see that. And so he was, he's obviously, it's a fun time for those guys.
He's tangled up over there on the other side with number 36 and just dropped a flag.
Coach Carpenter going to come out a little ways onto the field and see what that's all about. It is going to be on Newark.
Yeah, they got tangled up over there. I don't know if we have a little replay. It's like a...
After the play was over, dead ball, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 36 of the defense. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Is that the first penalty on Newark?
I believe so.
Wow. Second penalty on Newark, we're told by the truck. Beth's on top of that one. 1st and 10 for the Gales. They can get a first down at the 4-yard line. Minute 25 and counting here in the third quarter as the clock rolls, since it is over a 30-point lead. Titan Johnson, the quarterback, will hand it off to Sage Hill. Hill right up the middle. Did a nice job after the initial hit. Just plunge his way forward for a few more yards. Put these backups in there and not missing a beat. They're looking good.
Got to be ready to play. You never know when your name might be called with the first group.
Titan looks poised at quarterback, and Sage Hill's running hard. Cole Smith running hard. Brock Thomas, he had the fumble early right before half and came back in the second half with the carry to start the second half and did a good job. So now 2nd down and 4 here, under a minute to play in the third quarter. Johnson will hand it off to Smith. There goes Quentin Burke on the lead block. Look at that. The pulling guard, Quentin Burke, just opening up a huge hole for Cole Smith.
Just a stretch and just had a beautiful running lane for him to get in the end zone.
That's you don't see that in the stat book, but if you know what to watch for, you're watching a game. That's fun to watch.
Sure, it is.
You're watching those offensive linemen. Those are big guys, and they're getting out and running, leading the way for those running backs. Peyton Stewart to kick the extra point, and this one is up and good. So 29 seconds to play in the third quarter. Gales up 55-0 on the Newark Wildcats. I don't know if we have a replay of that touchdown run. Coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to have a special interview down on the sideline. Here's a replay. Watch Quentin Burke here, 54. You see him there? Along with the other running back, Brock Thomas. Did a good job blocking for Cole Smith to get that
Sometimes receivers and backs blocking is that, it doesn't get noticed as much, Jared. A little underrated and so good.
5 plays, 46 yards, 3:51 off the clock, a 7-yard touchdown run for Cole Smith. So the Gales will kick it off. They have scored on every possession but one, the one that was right before the half. Back deep to receive the kickoff will be number 3, Davian Williams. And not sure who's on the near side. It was Dustin Williams. Dustin Williams is back in there. Good to see that he's back. He was injured earlier. Davian, wow, dragged down inside the 20 by number 35. That's Peyton's, check that, it's Peyton Harris. Called his name quite a few times on defense tonight as well.
He's had a great game.
That's the end of the third quarter as the Gales lead at 55-0.
That's the end of the third quarter.
Is there an echo in here?
No, that was the official.
Coming up shortly, Marion's going to have an interview down on the sideline with some Hall of Famers that were honored tonight here at halftime at Lancaster High School. So we'll be telling you about those in just a minute. But right now, let's get to our South Central Power lineman of the game. I know we still have 12 minutes to play, but I really don't think there's much doubt about this. Tonight's lineman of the game is brought to you by South Central Power. Being a lineman isn't easy, whether you're shutting down the run or restoring power after a storm. At South Central Power, we salute all linemen, from the gridiron to the power pole. Our linemen work 24/7 to power your community. And this fall, they'll be visiting high schools each week to present our Lineman of the Game Award to a hardworking high school lineman. To see the winners, follow South Central Power on Facebook or Instagram.
Well, Jared, I think we all agree Jackson Reinshield definitely is the lineman of the game. At senior at 5'7", 190, stepped in, had to play center today. Give him great credit. He's earned it. The whole line was tremendous tonight, just firing off the ball. But let's give Jackson a big shout out, and he becomes the Glenn Campbell lineman of the county, huh?
And now he's playing some defense. Jackson is just a fabulous kid. I know Jackson well. And very deserving.
Look where he is. He's right over the ball again.
Yeah. He has stepped in and filled in at center tonight. He's done just an outstanding job. Sherman passes downfield. Almost a great catch hauled in there, but it's broken up by number 3 and number 4, Ethan Poe and Isaac Oatney.
Yeah, great job by the safety getting over and making sure that ball was not caught.
So congratulations to Jackson Reinshield. South Central Power will come to Lancaster High School this next week and present Jackson with an award. Make sure you check out Twitter as well as Instagram. There will be a picture of Jackson with the folks from South Central Power receiving that award. And just a pretty cool thing that South Central Power has teamed up with us to do.
Well, what's good is he's a senior and he knows how to get prepared for a game whether he's starting or not.
Yeah. On third down and a mile, not much there on that play, and they're going to be forced to punt from out of their end zone.
I think that was just second, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was second down. This is third coming up. The marker on the other side is not correct. So third down and 23.
Maybe it was.
Is it fourth? Yeah, I guess it is fourth.
The scoreboard was
wrong, not the marker on the sideline. If they would have just asked the best statistician around, Beth Campetti, she could have told them right away. It's fourth down, guys.
That clock's going to run out.
Yeah. So delay of game will back them up.
Defense. Half the distance to the goal. Fourth down.
So with his heels almost on the back of the end zone. Uh-oh, A.J. Cook.
Yep.
Is that going to be running into or roughing? On the return, it's Mason Hamilton across the 20 and knocked out of bounds right about the 16.
I think that was roughing. That's a first down for Newark.
Yeah. Automatic first down.
It's their third first down via penalty.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker. Defense, number 27, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Let's go down to the sideline. Marion Royster standing by with a very special guest on Hall of Fame night here at Fulton Field. Marion, take it away.
Thank you, Jared. Of course, tonight is Hall of Fame night for the Lancaster Golden Gales. A lot of the Hall of Famers have already left. I can't say I blame them due to the score, but we do have one gentleman still with us. This is Mr. Ron Ramey. He spent more than 25 years dedicated to the school system. Ron, can you tell us just a little bit about your service to the school and what you've done during your career?
Well, I was a high school principal here in the county for about 25 years. 8 years at Liberty Union as a principal, 10 years at the Stanberry Freshman School, and I finished my career as a vocational director at Lancaster High School. I think I'm being honored tonight because of the relationship I had with my teaching staff. I always felt it was absolutely crucial that your teaching staff had to be taken care of. If you took care of their needs, they were going to take care of the students for you. And I think that's probably why I'm being honored tonight. I was involved in a lot of community activities, had the privilege of serving on the hospital board for 8 years, Red Cross chairman, chairman of the Vision Board. I served on all those boards for 6, 8, 10 years. But my job was to provide a learning environment for kids and teachers, and I guess I worked really hard to preserve that, and people didn't dare try to interfere with that.
Well, I'm sure there's no doubt about that, and I can't imagine, all the lives you touched, and the fact that, again, not only in the school system but also in the community, you've been such a pillar and such a great resource, I'm sure, for the community. And that's a long career that you've had, and a lot of different things that you've done. Any big differences that you've seen from the time you started your career to now in the school system? Big differences?
I think it's just like it's always been. As time goes on, you have more and more children who are coming to our schools who are unloved, unwanted, and undisciplined. That's getting worse. If parents could get their acts together, I don't see much difference in the kids. If parents could get their acts together, it'd be a different life for all of them. And my job was just to make a place where they could have a good experience. I can tell you this, that dialogue with former students is the highlight of any day.
Absolutely. Yep. I bet that is the case. Any one particular moment or conversation that sticks out to you? I know you've had a lot.
Probably one that really sticks out was my first year as a principal. I had a little girl that was diagnosed with leukemia, and she died within about 3 years before she graduated. But it was just an experience that I was asked to do the funeral for the family, and I had problems with other people because this girl would go to Memphis for treatment and would have to miss band practice, and people was more concerned about her not being at band practice than they were about going to Memphis for leukemia treatment. I finally just had to say to the band officers, I've dealt with this the last time. You decide whether this girl is going to be your trophy or whether that piece of hardware from the Mingo Junction Bandorama is going to be it. I never had to deal with it again.
What a powerful story. So just an amazing gentleman and, again, a pillar of community, Ron Ramey. Also hear that you're quite the tennis player as well as a teacher. Is that true?
Well, there's a lot of difference between playing tennis and being a good tennis player.
Okay.
I played up until 4 years ago. I wanted to play till I was 80.
Wow.
But I started having problems falling. Oh. And I just decided before I really busted myself up, I had to give it up. Yeah, I did.
Well, you still look great. Ron, thank you so much for being with us, and congratulations so much on your honor. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Back to you, Jared.
That's awesome. Thanks a lot, Marion, and thanks a lot to Ron Ramey. Congratulations. Boy, I tell you, just listening to him talk, that gives me chills. I would love to teach under him as a principal.
Nah, I've known Ron a long time, but anybody that can bring up Mingo Junction, 99% of the people out there don't even know where Mingo Junction is.
I don't have a clue.
I do, but I've been all over the state for different reasons.
You know what else is cool? I like that Lancaster, a lot of times you go and you see, we'll go travel to different places to do games, and we'll see Hall of Fame nights, and it's always athletic based. And here at Lancaster High School, it's not just athletes, and it's not just coaches. It's administrators, it's teachers, it's it's people that are involved at the school.
They're
People who graduated from here and gone on and done great things, and I think that's awesome.
No, you should have both. You should have any extracurriculars, and then you should have what I call impact people.
Yeah,
people that have not how many they've impacted, but the fact they've made impact.
Sure.
And I do like that, but that just listening to Ron talk is outstanding, and he's right. It is about the kids, and Jared, I guess I never was afraid to voice my opinion, and I'm certainly less inclined to worry about what anybody thinks about it. But the kids are the kids, and it's really what it's about.
Yep.
I used to have a veteran superintendent used to tell me it's just a school building until the kids get there. Then it's a school.
That's true. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats as they trail at 62-0 as the Gales during that interview pounced on a fumble into the end zone. It was number 17, Dominic Carpenter, getting credit for the touchdown. Coming out around the end for the Wildcats. Was that 16 or 18? That's 18. That's Brendan Royster.
Uh-oh.
6:02 and counting here to play in this fourth quarter. Coming up next dead ball, we'll do the defensive player of the game. 2nd down and 9. Pass is complete to the 25, and he paid for it. Big hit there by Isaac Oatney. Time for our defensive player of the game, brought to you by the Edwards Insurance Agency, specializing in providing personalized insurance coverage that meets the needs of our individual clients. Contact Todd or Dale Edwards today.
Well, I'd like to stand up and just salute the whole defense tonight,
absolutely.
Jared. Marion mentioned how fast to the ball, how aggressive they are, chasing down from the backside. But let's give it to linebacker Peyton Harris, senior, 5'10", 190. He has been all over the place tonight. And even when they sub, the beat goes on. Number 35, Peyton Harris. Wow.
Congratulations, Peyton Harris, number 35. Looking for him down there on the sideline. I don't think he's in anymore. But he just had a fabulous game, and he was our Edwards Insurance Agency Defensive Player of the Game. So congratulations to Peyton. Peyton is a 5'10", 190-pound senior linebacker for the Gales. And after this punt, we will get to the Offensive Player of the Game. We may have to do co-offensive players of the game. You've got your thought, and I've got my thought, and Marion probably has another one. Uh-oh, did that...
No.
That didn't hit Poe?
No, it didn't. I think it hit 26 in the back of his shoe.
So the Gales will go back on offense at the Wildcat 45. Time for our Offensive Player of the Game, brought to you by Fairfield National Bank. Our first priority is to understand you, where you are in life and where you want to go. We look for opportunities in places other banks may see challenges. Could there be a better reason to meet? Be delighted with your bank. Fairfield National Bank is a division of the Park National Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Contact information at fairfieldnationalbank.com.
Hey, not always, and we got an offensive player standing down there on the sideline with a microphone. Let's get his input on this one.
Let's do it.
Let's get a little input from Marion. What do you think offensively, Marion?
Well, without the benefit of stats that you guys have up there, really just impact on the game. You could give it to any one of the running backs. Of course, the quarterback Monk has done a tremendous job tonight. But I tell you what, Max Hamilton, just from the word go, that first kickoff really set the tone, and also had a couple really big plays in the passing game. If I had a vote, it'd go to Max Hamilton. Again, no shortage of people you could give it to, but he really set the tone for the Gales tonight.
Now, you surprised he picked a receiver?
Shoo, come on now. I am completely fair.
I know, but that's why I wanted your opinion.
Marion, did you ever return punts or kickoffs?
Yes, I did.
There you
yes,
go,
I
Shu.
did.
There's a connection.
Well, I agree with him though. I thought he
do.
set the tone. You know, I thought Casey Fink's 2 big plays also totally kind of took the heart right out of him. I mean, they were pounding him with the run. The backs were great. I mean, it's hard on a night like this, but let's go with
I agree. And of course, selfishly, I wanted to go with Jake Richards, scoring 3 touchdowns on a day when, the reason he did so well is because I wore his jersey today for a minute till I could peel it off. But yeah,
there it is again. I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight if I keep seeing that pop up.
But I completely agree, like you do, Shu, with Marion, because that set the tone for the game. Max
agree.
Hamilton with that opening kickoff for a touchdown. So I agree. Marion, good call. Good call.
Well, thank you.
Number 15, Max Hamilton, is our Fairfield National Bank offensive player of the game, as he opened up the game with that long touchdown run on the opening kickoff. There's Mason is Max's brother. There we
Easy
go.
for you to say, huh?
Max is a junior. His brother Mason is a senior. So congratulations, number 15, Max Hamilton. Clock rolls down to 2 minutes. Coming up immediately following the game, Marion will try to get with Coach Rob Carpenter. I'm sure he's going to have plenty to say. He got lots of guys, some game action tonight, and they've all done a fabulous job. A few penalties that they can clean up, but other than that, it's been a near-perfect game for them, offensively and defensively. But it does not get any easier. That's the key. This is a meat grinder schedule. This OCC Ohio, you mentioned it earlier, is just, if not the toughest, it's one of the toughest in the state.
Just got to line up and play, and you got to continue to get better. They know how this works. The players know how it works. Obviously, the coaches do.
Yeah.
But they just know. You come back in tomorrow, you move on, and the most important practice is the next practice.
On 4th down, snap a stand. Nice run. Leaped over a would-be tackler to get that first down. That's number 5, Garrett Ramsey in at quarterback, sophomore for the Wildcats.
These kids on the sideline over here, these first-team defenders, they don't want them to score.
No.
They want to, and you like that.
Yep. They do have 42 seconds on a running clock, so Newark has to go 31 yards to get into the end zone here. Ramsey keeps it himself, gets up to the 24 and out of bounds, but again, the clock continues to roll, and they may not get another play off.
Do you notice the officials still use their mechanics, like wave the clock and whatever when they go out of bounds?
True.
Even though they do that because that's what you're going to have to do a lot of times. So I find it interesting. They keep their mechanics, which is a good practice.
Down to 10 seconds, down to 5. Last play of the game right here. Ramsey back to pass, scrambling. Lofts one to the end zone. He's got a couple guys down there. Was that? Nope, incomplete. Broken up down there by number 10, Titan Johnson, number 5, Noah Grulich, and number 31, Cole Smith. And the Lancaster Golden Gales with a big victory tonight over their rival, the Newark Wildcats. Final score tonight, 62-0. Let's go ahead and get to the stats while Marion waits for Coach Carpenter. Final stats tonight brought to you by Fairfield County Parks, inviting you and your families to come on out September 22nd and 23rd to our harvest celebration at Smeck Park in Baltimore. Watch as Fairfield County Antique Tractor Club uses early farm machinery to bring in the harvest. Enjoy games, crafts, activities, food trucks, live music, and more. Visit fairfieldcountyparks.org. There they are.
Well, Lancaster ended up with 487 yards, and Newark finished up with 79, Jared.
Wow.
17 first downs. And they gave up 2 first downs. And actually, we saw 3 penalty first downs.
So an absolute dominating performance by that
Not
Lancaster
much else
defense.
to say.
I mean, less than 100 yards on the ground in the game, and only 2 first downs, minus the ones that were penalty first downs. And the Gales walk away with a 62-0 victory, their first one on their new turf field. And Marion has tracked down the victorious Coach Carpenter as his team runs over to sing the fight song with the Fulton Fanatics. Marion's getting ready down there. I think you might be able to hear the team singing. If we turn up that crowd mic down there. Always a tradition here. There they go. Gold's up as the Gales win it. Let's head down to Marion Royster, standing on the sideline with Coach Rob Carpenter.
Thanks, Jared. I'm here with Coach Rob Carpenter. Coach, how's it feel to get your first win of the season?
Well, it feels really good. We played 3 tough games, but couldn't come out on top, and then we come back at home and get our first win on Fulton Field against our arch rival, Newark Wildcats, and the camera's down.
No, we're good. We're just fine. Yeah, still going here. You guys really dominated, of course, in every facet of the game. You have so much talent, but what really struck me was the way your guys fly around to the ball. I mean, it seems like you were just at 2, 3, 4 tacklers every time on the ball carrying right at the line of scrimmage. What do you attribute that, swarming mentality on defense to?
Well, we practice hard. I mean, we practice like that, and unfortunately, we haven't had anything to get excited about because we haven't come out on top. But our kids still flying around, still working hard, still practicing hard every day, and when you do that, good things happen eventually.
So many, outstanding players on the offensive side of the football, but again, you have such a stable of running backs. So many guys that can do such a great job. Jake Richards, was a spectacular tonight, had 3 touchdowns. But again, just a stable of running backs. What's it like to have the luxury of so many guys who can carry the mail for you like that?
Well, we got some good skill guys, and Lancaster's always been known for running backs and linebackers and pulling guards. But really, the hero of the game tonight, in my mind, was our center. Came in and started when our other center was out. Jackson Reinshield came in and, made the big play and was there when we needed him, and I'm proud of him.
I was just told in my ear that you guys had over 400 yards tonight, right around 480 yards, 487 total offense to under 100 yards you held Newark to. What's it like to have that kind of dominance tonight for a football team?
Well, again, these kids really practice hard, and people don't realize how hard they practice and how much film they watch. And so when this kind of an effort comes through on a Friday night, the coaches really feel gratified because the kids worked hard for it all week. It's not just something that happened tonight. It started on Monday. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thanks so much, Coach. Appreciate your time. Good luck to you the rest of the season. Thank you.
All right, victorious Coach Rob Carpenter of the Lancaster Golden Gales, and he said it, get a victory on Fulton Field over our arch rival Newark, and to do it in this fashion, 62-0, and not give up 100 yards, that's pretty impressive. No matter who you play.
No, just domination from the outset, and like I said, there's not a whole lot to say at this point. You move on. You're happy to win. I like to see the kids celebrating the victory. Sometimes I think you kind of take it for granted.
Yeah.
They're hard to get at any level. Whatever level you're playing, it's hard to win. You have to put in a lot of time and effort. Coaches do that, and players do that. So congratulations to them. Move on to next week. You got to bring it again, and you got to be better than you were this week. For Newark, regroup. As we looked at their schedule, they've got some winnable games on that schedule.
Yep.
Tonight was a total mismatch. Just a veteran team with a little more just maturity about them. We saw a lot of young kids play for Newark, so positive things are happening at Newark. We mentioned them tonight, whether it be community-wise or we saw some good efforts out on the football field. But total mismatch, and we'll move on to next week where we head to the Grove.
Want to, again, congratulate our players of the game, our lineman of the game, Jackson Reinshield, our defensive player of the game, Peyton Harris, and our offensive player of the game tonight was Max Hamilton. Marion, great job again down on the sideline tonight. Going to be a good one next week down in Sugar Grove.
Looking forward to it. Thanks. Great job, guys.
Tim, thanks a lot. Good job again tonight.
Always fun, Jared.
Again, the Gales tonight, victorious over the Newark Wildcats. Final score 62-0. We're back up next Friday night. We'll be down in Sugar Grove to see the Bern Union Rockets as they host a Fisher Catholic Irish. Going to be a dandy. Hope you'll join us. For all of our Interface Video Productions crew and Tim Shoemaker and Marion Royster, I'm Jared Stewart. Have yourselves a great night, everybody.
IVP Sports presents the Buffalo Wild Wings High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by Ohio University Lancaster, Fairfield Medical Center, Standing Stone Bank, North Body Shop, Dawn's Furniture, South Central Power, Fairfield DD, Meals on Wheels, Fairfield National Bank, Kumler Collision and Automotive, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Parks, the Edwards Insurance Agency, Dagger Law, the Carriage Company, Blue Line Designs, Personal Touch Party Rentals, the Huddle Tire Company, Fairfield Federal, Lines Auto Service, Sheridan Funeral Home, and Buckeye Lake Marina. This has been an IVP Sports production.